I love Kenshin.
I love the idea of Kenshin, and I think that they could...
I don't think there's been ever a son of a bitch. Okay, you take it. I don't think there's ever been a better story to explicate ethics.
Yeah?
Honestly, I think it's probably the best by far. There's nothing
what do you
even
think
close
Gohan
to it.
fighting Cell?
No. Because Kenshin, we got to see why. Gohan was just like, I don't like to hurt. And we had to kind of infer maybe it's just because he's been hurt a lot. I don't know. But it kind of came out of nowhere when you think about it. Like, there was nothing... He was killing people on Namek.
Yeah, but they were like monsters and aliens and...
Well, they were... So was Cell. They were humanoid aliens that could speak and all that. And Gohan, like, broke a dude's neck and chucked him into the ocean.
Yeah, okay.
And then he went on and got his ass handed to him by the Ginyu Force. See, you do it too! Because there's no way to know what the way is.
I thought it would turn, but it didn't. Oh, going. Come on.
Instead of plumes of stuff that can be obscured by buildings, they should have, plumes of stuff that cannot be obscured by buildings. Yeah, see?
Damn it.
But all 4 demographics, they're all on board with it. Ladies, gentlemen, gangsters, and pimps
we
want our bags to be obscured by the buildings, please. Bags of Cheetos, I mean.
Kenshin ethics.
Oh yeah, so Gohan, I mean, it did kind of come out of nowhere. I like it. I like that he doesn't have the Saiyan nature, he just has the Saiyan strength and all that. It's like a human mind and a Saiyan body. Yeah. It's a good combination there. But he's still got the wrath of the Super Saiyan. By the way, guys.
The wrath of a killer.
By the way, here's my fan theory. I don't know if anyone else... There's a million fan theories in Dragon Ball, so I'm sorry if someone else said this first, but I think I might be the first to say it. I think Gohan and Broly are the only 2 Super Saiyans. And Gohan isn't even a full Super Saiyan because he's only half Saiyan. Specifically, the Super Saiyan prophecy was that they would get, like, awakened by rage, and then they'd lose control and blow up their planet.
You think it was Broly only?
So I think it was only Broly. I think that Goku was, like, the base Super Saiyan that Goku and Vegeta and all that tapped into. I think that was just that they figured out a way of doing that. It's kind of like if there was a person who could naturally be double jointed or whatever, and you said, hey, I could be double jointed too, and you bend your arm back until it breaks repeatedly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of like what Goku and Vegeta and all those guys did. But Broly, it's not something he had to work for. He naturally has it. And he naturally has it because he flies into a rage and just becomes a Super Saiyan. And the prophecy said that the Super Saiyan 1,000 years ago or whatever, he was also awakened by rage, lost control, and blew up his own planet. And that's immediately what Broly does. He's always blowing up his own planet.
So is it like
and my thought is that Gohan is the only other character that gets a rage boost like that. He got it against Raditz, he got it against Nappa, he got it against Frieza. Little like 6-year-old Gohan beat up Final Form Frieza for just a second.
Yeah, but didn't Goku also go crazy berserk and...
No.
Well, maybe because Goku's brain is damaged.
No. Vegeta didn't have that. It feels like they all have it because it's always like, yeah, well, they fight harder when they're more angry. But Gohan's the only guy who, in the story, they say, oh, his power went up because he's angry. And when he gets angry, it's like a, not even like a multiplier, it's like by the power of 10 type thing, where suddenly this dude who was getting beaten up by Cybermen is able to toss Final Form Frieza.
But why would Gohan have it if Broly already has it?
My point is, I think that it's a genetic thing. I think it's that Gohan would have had it if he was full Saiyan. So if Goku had gotten with, I don't know, Broly's mom instead of Chi-Chi, Gohan would have been full Broly mode where he just ha. But instead, since he is half human, he can kind of control it, and that's what I think Mystic Gohan was. I think that was him accessing the Super Saiyan strength with the mind of the human being who's able to remain calm through it. Because it's like he got the strength boost, but he didn't have to lose his mind.
You're talking like the Boo Gohan?
Yeah. Which, by the way, they friggin' did him dirty. Akira Toriyama clearly hates Gohan.
Or just doesn't understand.
I remember when Super came out, like Battle of Gods, when it was called Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods.
Yeah.
I remember when that came out, everyone was like, oh man, written by Akira Toriyama, and I was all excited for that too. I don't think that's a good thing anymore. I think that ever since the end of the Cell Saga, written by Akira Toriyama means like, guys, this one's going to suck. And when you look back, it makes sense, because all the best Dragon Ball Z moments were not even him. I shouldn't say all the best, but most of the best. Like Cooler's Revenge, he didn't write that. Yeah. Broly, he didn't write that. History of Trunks, he didn't write that.
Well...
He wrote something, but it wasn't History of Trunks. In the manga, it was like Trunks was already a Super Saiyan by default, and there was like 3 pages devoted to, and then Gohan died and he went back in time.
Yeah,
there was no, the whole
not...
dramatic story was not there.
Yeah.
Akira Toriyama, he gives you the tool set, and I think that the fans have to write the Dragon Ball from now on.
I'll say, even the cool plot points in Super that have made Super a series worth entertaining are not him. Like the idea that the Super Saiyans have to put all of their powers together and touch hands.
Whoa!
That was wild.
Oh my goodness, that was crazy. Okay. Yeah. You said that came from...
That was like a fan manga
Toyo
before.
Taro or whatever?
I think so, and it was, or one of the two, and there were so many freaking ideas that are just like the Otherworld Tournament was a fan manga idea before.
No, the Otherworld Tournament, when you think about it, that also wasn't Akira Toriyama, because he didn't come up with Pikkon or any of that. That was filler.
Right, yeah.
I love the Dragon Ball Z filler so much, and none of that was Akira Toriyama. I love...
Pikkon's awesome. He's got the coolest theme. They use it like once in the whole series.
That's so true. By the way, Janemba, I have another theory here. I mean, this is not so much a theory, it's more of an observation, and other people have pointed this out, for sure. But all the movies are like rewrites of the same motifs, the same themes as what's happening in the official thing, but they just do it differently.
Yeah. So like catch you up quicker.
Well, not even, but like a parallel world. So like, instead of the Saiyans showing up, it is the Saiyans showing up, but it's different Saiyans. Now it's going to be a guy with the Tree of Might.
Yeah.
Instead of Vegeta and Nappa, but it's the same sort of plot.
Right.
They still have to make a spirit bomb to kill the guy or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Cooler and Frieza, pretty obvious there. Boo was definitely Janemba. Hey, let's have this guy who starts off a big fat joke and turns into this streamlined badass devil.
Right.
And let's have Goku and Vegeta have to fuse together to beat him. That's literally, okay. So, however, it takes place in an alternate universe where Vegeta was never resurrected at the end. And that's the last time Vegeta sees Goku according to that timeline, as he fades away, because he doesn't have a body, because he was evil. He died while he was evil and went to hell, Vegeta did, in that timeline.
Right, okay.
And so the only reason he had a body was because all the dead were resurrected for that, because of that plot point, why Janemba, like, separated the barrier between the living and the dead or whatever. And that's the only reason that Vegeta was there for that. And so at the end of that, when they kill Janemba, Vegeta just becomes a disembodied spirit again, and that's the end.
What?
Yeah. And
I don't know the movie so well.
I think that is how the series should have been going forward, because Goku was still involved, but he was involved in otherworld matters. Meanwhile, Gohan was still kind of like a second main character with Videl and Trunks and Goten, but they stayed on Earth handling Earth matters, because when all the dead came back, they had to fight them. They had to fight Frieza and Cell and all those people again.
I definitely
love
think that they should have split it up, and they should have had Goku. Even Super could have done this. They should have had Goku and Vegeta stay in Otherworld, whatever, and they give Earth to Gohan and Goten Trunks.
Or just give life to them.
Right.
Goku could be doing stuff with Kai's. Meanwhile, Gohan and Trunks are on
in the world of the
New
living.
Namek or something like that.
Oh my god, New Namek
awesome.
would be such a cool plot.
I think that I haven't read the Super manga, but I think they do go back to New Namek for something to do with that. And Vegeta's like, he wants to be a hero this time, because last time he was on Namek, he committed a genocide.
Oh.
And he's trying to redeem himself. Pretty cool.
It
sounds like the Super manga is
trying its best.
It sounds like it's trying its best within the constraints of what Akira Toriyama will allow. Like, I've seen, so the dude who draws it, he'll draw these badass things, and then Akira Toriyama will say, no, you need to revise that to make them all not have muscle mass at all. Like, there's a picture of before and after with Goten and Trunks all grown up. And, like, posing, and they got just jacked physiques, like how it used to be in Z. And then Akira Toriyama came through and said, no, we can't have that. Make them string bean men. And, like, they now have the physiques of you and I. It infuriates me, because, like, it's such a cool part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, and it used to be that way, too.
Like,
well,
he's
sort
just
of.
convinced that anime characters have to be skinny and have giant eyes. That's why the Super
One
Saiyan
Piece.
God thing, it's like, make Goku's eyes be really big.
There's something that One Piece did to anime. Like, even Fairy Tail. You look at Fairy Tail and you go, what the hell?
It kind of looks like a One Piece thing.
Yeah, and I think
I didn't get that impression with Rave Master, and somehow Rave Master and Fairy Tail have almost identical art, but for some reason Fairy Tail feels like One Piece to me.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know what the hell it is. It's the too big of eyes and the skinny character.
But they looked the same before, but for some reason and Rave Master didn't give me that
Natsu
feeling.
was buff as shit, or not Natsu. Haru was buff as shit compared to Natsu. Like, there is something, the slimming down of the characters, and it's because Luffy looks like a 12-year-old boy.
No, it's because everyone thinks that, okay, so the OGs that would draw everyone buff looking or whatever, I think they feel threatened by the success of, like, the light novel protagonists, where it's like teenage high school boys. And I think they look at that and they go, oh, so that's popular now? Little twink man gets isekai'd? And so they go, okay, Goku's got to look that way. Sorry, you can't make that. It's going to turn Uncanny Valley, because the reason we like Goku's design is because he was sharp as a knife and looked ferocious.
Yeah, but
these tiny pupils and these triangular eyes and giant, like, blocky muscles, and just looked like a beast. And now it's like, no, what if we slimmed him down and gave him big eyes? Well, then he's gonna look like nothing. He's not gonna look like a light novel protagonist that you want him to. He's gonna look like a very badly drawn Goku.
And even if we wanted him to look like a light novel protagonist, why? I don't understand.
Just make another series at that point.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Akira Toriyama do that if he really wanted to, like, have a different art style?
Oh, shit!
Do a different art style, and don't ruin Dragon Ball. And I am calling it ruined. I feel like Super is more of an insult than GT in a lot of ways.
It's because they stirred the pot too much, and it sloshed over the sides.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think about GT?
This episode's called "They Bitch About Dragon Ball Super Again." Can you believe it?
No, but like, think about if you had two worlds, and you said World 1 only GT exists. There's no Battle of the Gods. Nothing exists after Battle of the Gods. Or Future 2, it's this. But
after Battle of Gods, so we get
no, nothing exists
before Battle of Gods. Okay.
No.
Sorry.
Like, from Battle of the Gods on, there's no Super.
Okay.
There's no Dragon Ball Super, but we still have GT, and we can still go, oh wow, Super Saiyan 4, look how buffy and awesome he looks.
I don't know, because there were cool things about Super, and Super also got a whole new generation into Dragon Ball Z. And I mean Z, not into Super. Our mom is a kindergarten teacher, and she'll send us texts of, hey, this kid's got a Dragon Ball Z backpack. This kid's also got... And it's always Z. It's never Super. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So I think that probably Super introduced kids to Z, which made them like Z. I'm okay with that. I like Super for the sake of proselytization, but not for its own sake, to be honest. But also, I haven't read the manga, like I said, and I know that the manga has. I know that the manga has cool chapters. I just want to say that in defense in advance here.
Sure.
I know that there's like some guy with the stupidest name ever, some guy named Granola, who shows up and does some cool stuff. I know that they go to New Namek. I know that Vegeta goes to Yardrat and learns instant transmission and other cool things.
That's cool.
I know that all kinds of cool stuff happens, but as far as the anime goes, that seems like the most disgraceful, recycled, uninspired schlock imaginable.
See, so I kind of turn it up to all anime is kind of turned into that.
No, well, that's because you're a hater.
Well, it is because
What have you seen recently?
Freaking nothing.
You haven't seen One Punch Man.
I tried watching.
You haven't seen Chainsaw Man. You haven't seen Jack Shizzard. There's good stuff out there. I think it's just that you're jaded.
I've seen a bunch of One Punch Man.
Have you?
Yeah.
Isn't that perfect?
No.
Oh, okay. I think it's perfect. I had no complaints at all about One Punch Man. I thought it was so funny.
I find it all uninspired.
What do you mean uninspired?
I find
it's so fun and funny and action-packed and well.
I gotta tell you,
and
I'm rewatching Gurren Lagann right now, and that is great.
Right.
And it helps me. I think about like other anime that came out in like 2006, 2007, whatever. I go, oh man, Code Geass, great. Oh man, Lucky Star, great. Oh man, all this other stuff. And it's like, I think something happened around the 2010s that I just, as a whole genre, I just dropped off for me. And I don't know what it is, but like, if I could back it up and freeze it anywhere, it would be like 2005, 2006, 2007, like Samurai Champloo era, that sort of stuff. And like, I look at the Your Name backgrounds and I go, wow, pretty. But the problem is that everything looks like that now.
Silent Voice was great.
It was great, but like, do we need it? Is it something?
I think it's good.
Do I say, oh my god, that has changed the anime for me? The way
but okay, well here's the
Gurren
problem.
Lagann has changed the anime.
Nothing is going to beat Gurren Lagann.
But
it's kind of like saying, oh man,
something could beat Lucky Star?
Haven't been saints ever since Jesus Christ. No, there have been it's just they're Mr. Rogers types. They're not walking on water and shit. They're just good people. That's my point. Is like you can't say, well, but literally the industry peaked at that point, so everything else is crap.
I'm not comparing it to Jesus. I'm comparing it to any one of the 12 apostles. Okay, give me another Code Geass. Give me another Samurai Champloo. Give me another.
I bet I could find you stuff that's
well, like man, I've looked so hard, and it all just feels the same copy paste. My Hero Academia. Crappy.
I'm gonna say some blasphemy, but I think that the new Evangelion's better than the old.